Did you attempt to work with Lois Lerner and the IRS to investigate nonprofits?
What I did was I asked for a meeting with the IRS about nonprofits.
So the simple answer is yes.
Okay, welcome back. That was Congressman Tom Tiffany grilling Biden's special counsel Jack Smith, revealing how Jack Smith worked with Lois Lerner at the IRS under Barack Obama in 2010 to help the DOJ try to criminally investigate and prosecute conservative nonprofits and groups. Joining us now, back with us, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney from House Ways and Means. It's great to see you again, Congresswoman. What do you make of Jack Smith's history here of treating people as guilty until proven innocent? This is as Jack Smith is also accused of doing that fishing expedition, spying on 400 Republicans and groups. What do you think of this?
Well, it's obviously politically motivated, and you hit the nail on the head. It's a fishing expedition. It violates the Fourth Amendment principles, which say that you have to have probable cause and some kind of evidence that leads you to go for all these records. So basically, Jack Smith said, I think I'm going to get all the call logs of Republicans. He didn't seek the call logs of Democrats. He was trying to find a way anyway to find evidence, to troll for evidence, to see if he could get something to convict Republicans on. And that's the opposite of what the Fourth Amendment stands for. He also runs up against a couple of things, which are separation of powers issues. As members of Congress, we are protected by the speech and debate clause. So he's trying to interfere with that right as well. But really, he's just trying to find some kind of wrongdoing, not by finding, oh, here's some wrongdoing. Let's go and get a warrant and see if we can get this information. You know, he wanted to just get the information and troll for anything that could lead to potential wrongdoing. It's the opposite of what our system is.
This is a reason why special counsels should be gotten rid of when they're not confirmed by the Senate. When you got a dangerous ideologue like this, treating people as guilty until proven innocent, which is against U.S. law. I mean, we know that the IRS treats people as guilty until proven innocent. That's the way they do their tax collection. That's also dubious, but it's the way they've operated. But watch CNN's Ellie Honig question that Jack Smith, how he wanted to ram through a rapid trial of Trump before the election to stop him from getting reelected in 2024. This would have been an October surprise, violating Trump's constitutional and due process rights. There was no way Jack Smith could analyze 13 million documents in just about 5 months. And watch Congresswoman Harriet Hagman say a judge would have thrown out Jack Smith's 2020 case. Watch this.
Jack Smith demanded a trial date 4 months out, 5 months out, in a case involving 13 million pages of documents. There is no defense lawyer in the country who can constitutionally prepare for trial and defend his client on that short a time frame. The implication was you were rushing to get this in before the 2024 election. Jack Smith did not defend himself, by the way. He didn't say a word about that, which I found striking.
Wouldn't you agree with me that Ms. Hutchinson's testimony, especially the most explosive allegations made, was comprised of hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay? Come on, you're an attorney. Mr. Smith, you can answer the question. Of course it was hearsay. And hearsay isn't admissible in a court of law, is it? Why? Because it is inherently unreliable, and the victim or the target of a prosecution is not able to cross-examine. Isn't that correct? In fact, Mr. Smith, if you had attempted to walk into court with Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, you would have been thrown out on your ear. No judge, no legitimate judge would have ever allowed the testimony of Cassidy Hutchins to be admitted in a court of law, would they?
I disagree.
Well, and then we've already talked about your record.
Mr. Chairman,
today,
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's time has long since expired.
Back.
What do you think, Congresswoman?
Look, I love Harriet Hagman. She's going to be a senator of Wyoming soon. She's a fantastic trial lawyer. And look, he knows that he's guilty. And look, this is what worries me about Harriet pointed out. Yes, it is hearsay, but they wanted to try Trump in the court of public opinion and have this case a show trial, much like the J6, show trials that were put on by Liz Cheney. So this is really interesting. But I think that Jack Smith is going to have to face these things. And unfortunately, we have some judges that may not uphold their partisan judges that may not uphold the rule of law. Top-notch lawyer with Harriet Hagman. Glad she's on that committee. This is really important stuff that we're uncovering right now about politicization of our own government against political parties for political reasons.
It's really dangerous.
Should be prohibited.
Yeah, just to stay in power. Congresswoman Tenney, always a pleasure from House Ways and Means. Great to see you again. Stay warm out there. Now, please listen to this.
The one place where we thought we would never experience this is the U.S. states. And we should all be ashamed that it is the United States that is allowing for this to take place.
Pretty shocking attack and a vulgar slur by far-left Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She says she doesn't like America, but she's getting rich in America. We did digging into how she's suddenly skyrocketed in just a year's time to a $30 million net worth from just $16,000 in just 1 year. Plus, we found reasons to question her husband's investment firm. House Oversight is investigating. Attorney and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell is going to take it on. But first, this.
ICE agents detain a 5-year-old boy and accusations from the boy's school district that he was used as bait.
A 5-year-old boy taken into custody by ICE.
ICE agents were trying to use the baby for her to come out of her house.
The latest firestorm. The media, Democrats now claim ICE targeted a 5-year-old boy as bait to get his father out of the house. But DHS Vice President J.D. Vance says that's not true. Instead, the father abandoned his child and ran away. Next, podcast host Ben Ferguson is going to break down what really happened. We got a lot of show to come. Please stick with us.
Here in the U.S. Border Patrol, I will say unequivocally that we are experts in dealing with children. Let me say that again, experts in dealing with children. Not because we want to be, but because we have to be. Over those past 4 years, hundreds of thousands of children were trafficked across that border. Guess who they came into contact with? Sometimes who was the very first law enforcement agency or American citizen that they saw? U.S. Border Patrol, followed by our counterparts at Immigration and Customs Enforcement. When we've got the news media talking about children, I'd certainly love to hear more reporting on the 300,000 lost children. Very little reporting from the Minneapolis news media here.